Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to Turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. Glad you're with us. It's Thursday night, and that means we're going truck racing with the NC811 Truck Series, the limited series here with Sim 500. 6 races, 6 different winners. Will we crown winner number 7 of the season here tonight? Or are we going to see our first repeat of this season? We're going to find out here in just 100 short laps here at Nashville Super Speedway. Taking a look at the field, the starting lineup qualified just got wrapped up. Troy Haight, he has been fast over the last couple weeks. He's going to start P1. Rick Kennedy Jr., Joe Hudson, Rich Swavely, Mike Montesi, and there we go, Mike Montesi going to start your top 5. Then it's going to be Robert Barber. Lane Phillips is going to start 7th tonight. Scott Formosa, Rob Lowell, Joey Gentina, just inside the top 10 here, going to start 10th. Looks like John Fowler is going to start 11th. Last week's race winner going to start in that 11th place position. Then it's Kevin Stone 12th. Brandon Garan 13th. Glenn Campbell 14th. And Shannon Wood rounding out that top 15. Then it's Cody DeForge, Dustin Cogan, Robert Chappell. The 87 fans are already out in force. He is going to start 18th here tonight. James Smith, Vincent Short is going to start in the 20th place position. Then it's Steve Ritter, Alan Marshall, Johnny Barker, Jeff Kay, DeAndre Kane, Mark Schrader, KC Duncan, Stoney Benfield, Doug Roth, and Reba Caton. Going to round out that 30th place position. And then our final folks here getting grid up is Ron Holyfield, Doug Sigmund, Gerald Livingston. Again, getting ready for 100 laps here at Nashville. Again, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here on this fine Thursday night. Looking forward to this one all week long. I tell you what, if you've not tuned in to any Thursday night racing with the NC811 Limited Series, you've been missing out. It has been a hell of a lot of fun with these drivers. And I suspect tonight this abrasive, sporty, fast racetrack in Nashville Superspeedway is just going to continue to bring out the talent in these drivers. As they roll off pit road here and get ready to go green. Again, I want to welcome everybody. If you haven't tuned in, if it's the first time being here, thanks for stopping by. If you like what you see or enjoy the broadcast, do me a favor. If you're on Facebook, follow the page. If you're on YouTube, give us a subscription over there. Like the stream if you're already a subscriber. And listen, have a great race. It's going to be a good one. Troy Haight, Rick Kennedy Jr. on the front row. Again, it could be anybody's night tonight here in Nashville. The front row, all the way down, they see the green flag. Music City is alive, and they're green in Nashville. Off down into turn number 1. Troy Haight comes out with the lead. Joe Hudson, he's going to pick up that second place spot. Mike Montesi and Rick Kennedy Jr. side by side. Montesi in that Ford truck looking sharp. Right there along the bottom. They're going to wrap it as best they possibly can as these trucks roar to complete lap number 1. Off down into turn 1 once again here. Troy Haight, he's out front. 0.5 of a second here on lap number 2. Joe Hudson has got that second place position right underhand, but Richard Swavely is looking underneath of Kennedy Jr. Trying to grab that spot. They're side by side as they work off of 4. It is still a bit of a madhouse back here through the remainder of the field. They were 3 wide coming off of 4 there for just a moment. They get it sorted out, then it's 2 by 2, all the way back through 1. These lap times are going to click off very quickly here. 31-second lap times right now. These tires will wear this very abrasive, you see that color in the track a lot lighter than a lot of places we go to here with these NASCAR trucks. And it's almost like textured like Dover is a really good way to talk about it. You can slide the truck around. You can get some grip, and there's certainly some to be had there, but you will pay for it in tire wear. We'll see the lap time start to shake out here in just a little bit. Meanwhile, our top 5 is single filed out for the first time tonight. If we look a little further back, it looks like our top 10 has gotten the message as well. Back here a little bit further, that's Cody DeForge. He has got some competition there on the outside. That's Dustin Cogan. sitting right there in that, well, they're fighting right there for that 15th place position. This is where a lot of the fights you can see materialize here on turn one. Clean and green so far, Joe Hudson sitting P2. But Troy Haight out to a commanding lead so far, 7/10 of a second in the early running here. It looks like Robert Barber, he has been a fast driver up and down the running over the last many weeks. He is up a spot, sitting in 5th and starting to look inside of Rick Kennedy Jr. here, right to the bumper all the way down to that yellow line through the tri-oval. And now, Barber's going to have to take this. He's going to have to approach a different way. Kennedy Jr. gets a little tight. He's going to be on the outside. Barber's going to be on the inside. He tucks back in down the back stretch. That 83, he's going to dive it in again about half a lane lower. Kennedy's on the move. He has actually run up to the rear of the Ford truck of Montesi. Barber again right there to the inside. This time, though, he's going to have the door shut just a little bit there on Kennedy on corner exit. That's going to set him up for turn one. Barber even with Kennedy as they race off of 2. Kennedy's going to have the drive off on that outside line. It looks like, who is that? That is Richard Swavely on the move. Swavely is going to take advantage of Barber being out of position. Oh, and Swavely's going to get that truck a little loose. He's going to lose that momentum and fall back in line. Back up front again. Troy Haight continues to lead here as we're working lap number 9 of 100. Looking through the remainder of the field, everybody's starting to single file out. Again, you got what you got, and we typically see some longer green flag runs at places like Nashville. These drivers know that you need to figure it out pretty quick, make the passes you can get, and then settle in. We should see them go to about lap 40. To 45 on fuel. That's a side-by-side battle right there. That is Brandon Garand and Kevin Stoll. They're real tight on each other. Real tight there on each other. The 1 and the 17 truck as Garand's going to dive it down to the inside. Stoll's going to stay high. And side-by-side off the corner again. Garand sliding, letting the truck float pretty high up. And now he's going to be in trouble. That's Shannon Wood behind him. And now, what was a 2-truck battle has turned into a 4-truck group here, with Kogan up in the mix. Troy Haight continues to lead. Joe Hudson sitting P2, Montesi, and then Swavely is able to hang on. Rick Kennedy Jr. able to hang on that 4th place position. Then Richard Swavely's in the 5th place spot. Robert Barber, he's starting to feel some pressure. He's going to move up, put a block on Scott Formosa as they come off of turn 2. And you thought we were done super speedway racing? Well, Robert Barber moves up and blocks that line, gives himself a little bit of time to get the truck collected. Now he's all over the back bumper of Swavely. It's getting tight back here with Formosa. And that is Lane Phillips on the inside. Phillips, he's already won one time this season. Would like to be the first one to double up. I'm sure he's sitting in the 8th place position right now. Pretty much right there where he started. Watching all this kind of materialize here in front of him as Swavely now is going to look underneath Kennedy Jr. Kennedy has not had an opportunity to settle in pretty much this entire race. He's been feeling the pressure all the way around. They're thinking about making it 3 wide. Barber pulls out, lifts just a little bit. And he was going to put it right between Swavely and Kennedy. Barber now goes to the high side. This battle right here is essentially fighting for fourth. Is Swavely. That truck looks a little out of shape off the corner. Now Barber is going to challenge on the outside. Rick Kennedy Jr., the truck's going to get tight. Side by side off of two. They nearly made contact. Kennedy has to hold the truck down. Barber's got the momentum. Robert Barber drives it in deep in three. I thought he was going to have that position locked, but he drove it in a little too deep out of four. And he's going to get it done on the front stretch here. Robert Barber moves up to P4. Just behind him, Richard Swavely, Scott Formosa. There was battle pretty much all over the place there, but Formosa has been in the thick of it as well. It's a tough battle right here in the middle of the top 10. We talked about those lap times falling off, and well, they're already starting to do so. Not only the traffic, but just in general, everybody starting to see that tire wear come to fruition as Kennedy there on the outside of Swavely as they work off of two. Last time by, Richard Swavely ran a 32:17. So those lap times already about a second off the pace here. Working lap number 17. Back out front, the man of the hour so far, Troy Haight, brought the pole home here. Fastest truck of the night, was able to put it on the top of the board, and so far has led them all. After 18 at Nashville, Joe Hudson settled into P2. Montesi, Barber, and Swavely, your top five. As Joey Jatina says, hello, boys, I'm here to party. He moves up to that sixth place position right under Rick Kennedy Jr. Joey Jatina has been, he's also a season winner in this NC811 limited group. Brought one home, had one taken away from him with an internet connection issue the next week. He's looking for a little bit of redemption, just hasn't quite had the mojo with him in that 14 truck. But he's up a couple spots, 4 to be exact, sitting at 6 so far, as we are going to start thinking about the fuel run here. Again, past halfway on what will be the fuel run for these drivers, and this is not a super speedway racetrack, obviously. These guys have got to manage the tire, but manage the fuel as well. A lot less opportunity to save here, especially the drivers running into this top 10. Oh, and the caution's gonna be out. It looks like Formosa is backwards down the front stretch. And that is going to bring the caution out for the first time. Let's go back here and take a look. He's underneath Rick Kennedy Jr. Oh, those two make contact off of 4. A lot of battling happening right there in that 6th through 10th place position. And unfortunately, it's going to bring the caution out for the first time here tonight for the NC811 Limited Series on Turn 1. Troy Haight, Joe Hudson, Mike Montesi, Robert Barber, Rick Swavely, your top 5. Now's a really good time to think about or talk about the Sim 500 experience. You've seen it here for well over a year now on Turn 1. I think we're going on 2 years of some level of partnership with Sim 500. And, well, I cannot stress enough how much I appreciate and respect the driving that comes out of this group each and every week. If you want to get involved with a high caliber and a high level of expectation set of drivers, you come in, you're expected to race clean, own your mistakes. Well, Sim 500 just may be a fit for you. They race 3 to 4 nights a week right now as we see some pit strategy starting to come to play. That is going to really shake some things up. But anyhow, you want to go sim racing with some of the best. Head on over to sim500.com for more information and get joined up to go racing with Sim500. Pit stops underway, and this is going to split the field. Troy Haight, Joe Hudson, Joey Jatina, Lane Phillips, Doug Roth all stayed out. Meanwhile, Rick Kennedy Jr. brought essentially the rest of the field down pit road. We'll see what this looks like if it was a two-tire situation, fuel only for some of these drivers. I'm seeing a bunch of short stops with the exception. Looks like Mike Matesi may have taken 4. Robert Barber looks like he took 4 as well. So did Swavely. They didn't lose that many spots. So this will be an interesting strategy call. Keep in mind, those tires, we were talking about those lap times about 5 laps ago. The delta there was about a second and a half after that short run. So this may be interesting. This could shake out to be something to be talking about as these drivers up front on those older Goodyear tires. As we know now, some of these guys will have to still get or come down pit road. They're betting on the cautions breeding cautions. We're going to find out if that comes to fruition or not here as you see the pace cars got the lights off. They get ready to go back green flag racing here. They'll see the green flag at lap number 25, a quarter away through this 100 lap event here at Nashville. Side by side, Haight, Hudson, Jatina, Phillips, Doug Roth, your top 5. Remember, those top 5 drivers did not come down pit road. We'll see if a combination of 2-tire, 4-tire can all make a difference. Haight, he's out pretty far here. That was interesting. Jatina stayed back a little bit. I think Haight may have wanted to go a little earlier than he did, and then he paused. Clean restart up front. To take a look here a little further back, Montesi's got Kevin Stone right there in the mix. Shannon Wood and Robert Barber side by side as they work through the corner. Nowhere for the 83 here to go. Montesi gets a little loose on exit. And now Barber's going to squeeze by. Kevin Stone's going to be on the outside into 1. The 4 is going to try to get it collected up here. Taking a look back up front. Doug Roth has got Garand and Barber pretty much right off the rear bumper. Things are getting racy here at Nashville. That's Barber on the outside making that pass on Roth. And that's going to open up the door for the 4. Off into 1. The 4 is going to be able to clean or get by pretty cleanly here as Roth. Remember, did not come down pit road. And the longer or the more laps that tick off here, the longer in the hole they're going to end up being. Joey Jatina, he's looking to try to hold tough here on the inside of Lane Phillips. Phillips gets really out of shape on corner entry. Now the 4 is going to have to avoid him. Barber's on his way forward. Robert Barber slides underneath of Joe Hudson as Jatina's out of shape. They're 3 wide. Mike Matesi on the outside as they dip off into 4, into 3 rather. That got sporty there for a moment. Go back up front here. This is the first time tonight Troy Haight has had anybody on the bumper. And here comes the 83 on the outside. Out of turn 2, it's a drag race down the backstretch. But Robert Barber is going to look here and dive it off in the corner. We're going to have a new leader in Robert Barber. Mike Montesi is on. He's following the 83 through the line here. Both these drivers did take 4 tires. That will be something to pay close attention to. They want to see this race go green the rest of the night. That'll pretty much put them in a position to lap a lot of these fast drivers that elected to stay out. But it's got to all work out and come to fruition. Meanwhile, Swavely is underneath Hudson. Joey Jatina's back here in 6th. Lane Phillips is 7th. Dustin Coggin back here at 8th. Doug Ross, Steve Ritter. Ritter on a tear. He's up 12 spots tonight. In that 9th place position, but nowhere to go out front. It is chaos back here around 10. Underneath Jatina goes Dustin Coggin. 47 truck's gonna be there as they work off turn number 4. He's gonna complete the pass before they get off into 1. Meanwhile, Robert Barber, Mike Montesi, they're out front and have set sail 1.87 seconds back. They're out front of Richard Swavely. Again, those two are on those newer tires. Montesi's on full chase mode here of the 83. You know, if you're Mike Montesi, we've seen him have a lot of speed over the last many months and here with this NC811 Limited Series. And he is looking to turn that speed off into a really a win here tonight at Nashville. And he knows the 83 has also been really quick and led a bunch of laps this season. Robert Barber has. So Montesi's got to be smart with it. Does he push the 83 to burn the tires up? But in order to do that, you're going to burn your own stuff up. Or do you just save and hope you can save more than the 83 does? Either way, these two drivers are out 2+ seconds on 3rd place of Swavely. Taking a look back here a little further, that is Steve Ritter looking underneath the 14 of Joey Jatina, rather. Jatina has slid back to that 7th place position. He has not taken new tires yet again. I think he was of the mindset he wanted to try to see if a caution were to come out here. Pretty quick so far, no dice, so Jatina's going to have to come down pit road at some point here, I would say in the next 5 laps or so. Oh, and there it is, the caution's out. Oh, and the 87's through the grass. Scoffer Moza is slow. Looks like this started back here. John Fowler may be involved. Off of turn number 4. Oh, it happened right there in front of Fowler. Oh, nowhere to go. That's going to bring the second caution of the night out for the NC811 Limited Series on turn 1. We were just talking about what that caution could do. Well, it just shook some things loose here at Nashville. That is going to give Jatina an opportunity to come down pit road. He's going to be joined by Joe Hudson. He'll be joined by Doug Roth. Troy Haight will also be coming down pit road this time. And a lot of these drivers that came here this last time, what is this going to look like for them? I think we saw some 2-tire strategies. What does that mean? Well, they're going to be in a bit of a pickle here as well. Pit strategy and different tire configurations on track. As we're under caution for the second time, we're going to step away. You're watching Turn 1. being able to pit under caution. That is the story for Joey Jatina, Troy Hayden, and others as we get ready to go back. Green flag racing lap number 39 here at Nashville. And, you know, we talk about Joey Jatina. He came down pit road. So did Joe Hudson. These guys only lost 3 or 4 spots. This worked out in their favor, and they've got 4 fresh Goodyears on those trucks. We'll see them drive through this field relatively quickly. Robert Barber on the inside is going to get him rolled back off here under green. Mike Montesi on the outside. He was in full chase mode of the 83 all the way through the field. Can Montesi get up there and make a run for this lead here early? Maybe now's the time to challenge it. You've got to have it. It's all going to start. You got to have a wonderful restart here. One that is certainly something you can carry to the backstretch. What happened to Barber? He's slow, and that's going to check up the whole field. They keep it green, but the 83 doesn't go. An impressive ability by this field not to completely get sideways on the front stretch as the 83 just did not go. Meanwhile, Montesi, he didn't control it, but that restart worked out for him. He's now back to the lead. Barber tight to the inside there of Johnny Barker. Barker on the outside, Barber on the inside. Side by side as they roll off into one. Montesi! And who was that? That was... What is going on here? Things are getting sporty. I'm sorry, that was... Either way. Chaos all over the racetrack. There are 3 wide back here. They're about to be 3 wide for the lead. I believe that was Rob Lowell. I'm sorry, I miscalled that. Nope, it was not Rob, as a matter of fact. Somebody got into the back there of Mike Montesi. Is there 3 wide out of 2? That's Jatina DeForge and trucks everywhere. 3 wide at Nashville. I don't even know where to begin this. We've had a lead change as well. Robert Barber back to the point. This all started with the chaos on the restart. The 83 missed a gear. Something happened either way. That checked up the whole field, and then that made it ripe for the picking. Joey Jatina. Remember, he restarted like 12th. He is now up into this top 3. Glenn Campbell sitting 4th. Then it's Doug Roth, Rob Lowell, Cody DeForge, Dustin Cogan. That is the 61 truck, so that was Ritter. Looks like he may have got it. Montesi checked up into 1 just a couple laps ago. Is that where things just got wild? Had to really check up to not get into the back of him and got sideways. And then that checked up the rest of the field once again. Meanwhile, Barber out front. Mike Montesi, P2. Johnny Barker, Joey Jatina, and Doug Roth, your top 5. On the outside, rather, of Joey Jatina is Johnny Barker. Again, Jatina in that 14 truck, 4 new Goodyears. And he's going to get a little tight off the corner. Can't quite clear of Barker, but he's got the best tires of all the top 5 here. So does Doug Roth. The 14's going to get clear. He's going to drive down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to settle into that third place position. Now, if I am the 14 of Jatina, I am up here now. I know I've got better tires by about 10, 12 laps than these guys. I just sit. I run my race, but I don't push the truck. The 14 and the 83 are going, I'm sorry, the 4 and the 83 are going to come back to me. No point in overextending the issue in any shape or form, as now Doug Roth is alongside here. Barker, that's Glenn Campbell coming into the picture as they work off into 1. Montesi's going to look to the inside, 1 lane under the 83. Montesi tight to the corner panel. Side by side off into 3 here. And the 14 is loving what he's seeing out the windshield. He's going to look underneath both of them. They're both going to get tight. Jatina's going to make it 3 wide for the lead. Jatina, Montesi, Barber as they roll off into 1. Still 3 wide all the way through the corner. Barber's going to be in the best position, but can Jatina get him clear? Down the backstretch they go. 3 wide. Jatina on the bottom. Montesi and Barber are tight of one another. Joey Jatina is going to come out the lead. Robert Barber, Mike Montesi sitting second and third. Meanwhile, they're 3 wide back here once again. We got a truck blinking pretty bad. And that's going to check everybody up. That's Campbell. That's Lane Phillips, Rob Lowell, Joe Hudson. I believe that is Garand. It is Garand. That is really having a lot of connectivity issues. That's going to check up the field behind him. Meanwhile, they're 2 by 2, 3 rows back off of turn number 2 here. I think we've seen Garand disappear for the final time. A top 10 run going to come to an end there as they work off the corner. Wow, what a drive there. That's Barker there. He gets tangled up on the outside, back behind that slow truck. Nowhere to go. He's going to lose a ton of spots. Meanwhile, we go back up front. The boss man, Joey Jatina. Out front, Robert Barber, P2. Mike Montesi, Lane Phillips, Joe Hudson. Shannon Wood, Glenn Campbell is running 7th right now. Doug Roth, Kevin Stone, Rob Lowell, your top 10. As we officially cross the halfway point of tonight's race here on turn 1, the NC811 Limited Series live at Nashville. I'm Sean Fitz. I appreciate you being here. Doug Roth underneath Glenn Campbell. It's been an exciting one. 2 cautions so far here tonight. Some pit stops thrown into mix. Varying strategies all over the racetrack. That is the 23 of Joe Hudson looking underneath Lane Phillips. Going to push him up the racetrack just a little bit. Hudson's going to move off into that 4th place position. We've been talking about how exciting this racing has been over the last 6 races or so. 6 races, 6 different winners. As they're 3 wide back here, that's for 12th or 13th. Johnny Barker, Richard Swavely, he's right in the middle of this. And that's our pole sitter and really the guy that led the first 25-30 laps. That's Troy Haight back here in that 11th place position. Sorry, 12th place position, trying to do something about it. Get back up front there. We talked about 6 different races, 6 different winners. But right now, if he were to bring it home and see the checkered flag, Joey Jatina would be the first repeat winner of this season. We talked about it 1-1 just a few weeks ago. The next week had the whole team skunked, or the whole field skunked, and then had some connection issues. Unfortunately lost out on a checkered flag, so now he's out front. 1.5 over Joe Hudson and Barber. They're side by side. And it's Swavely, that's Shannon Wood back behind him. Then Lane Phillips, Doug Roth. Battles up and down the running order here at Nashville. I knew this was going to be a really good night, this racetrack. I said earlier, kind of abrasive and very, it has the same feel and grip levels as Dover, just nowhere near the high bank. And these drivers are showing you can make any type of runs, any type of outside, inside. You've got to be consistent to survive, and we're seeing positions being swapped all over the racetrack. You know what we've not done? We've not rode on board with anybody here so far tonight. The action's been all over the place, but let's do so. Let's do it with the 44 of Glenn Campbell as he takes a lap or two here around Nashville. They continue to get racy here. Working lap number 59, coming to lap number 60 of 100 at Nashville. That's the 14th truck. Out on the front, Joey Gentina. He's out there, and, well, he's going to have to stop one more time before it's all said and done. But I think that we're really pretty much everybody else in the field will have to do the same. Right now, 1.4 seconds over Joe Hudson. Shannon Woods back here as most of the top 6 or 7. Well, I take that back. I was going to say most of the top 6 or 7 single filed out. But now Robert Barber and Glenn Campbell were side by side working off into 3. They got it sorted. Troy Haynes on his way back forward just a little bit. Again, he fired off really strong here tonight. And then the way the pit cycle worked out and the tires, lost a bunch of positions due to that. Now, back racing himself up to that 7th place spot. Everywhere else looks to have calmed down just a little bit, and that's good, right? Because you can't race 2 and 3 wide all night long. I mean, I guess you could, but eventually it's going to catch up to somebody as Haight drives around the 44. Campbell coming off the quarter. Haight's going to be in prime position to take that spot away. He'll lock it up and start to look ahead. That's the 83 of Barber. So it's a lap down truck right there on the very bottom. Oh, that truck gets tight, nearly gets into the 83. He's going to move down low to get out of the way. Oh, contact back there with the 17 of Stone. That could have been disastrous. That all started there in turn 3 with that lap truck on the bottom. Everybody able to navigate through it. Haight down the inside. Barber's going to be on the outside, but does not have the grip to get it done. Robert Barber, last time down pit road, lap number 22. Really, everybody here in this top 6 came down pit road on that lap 36 pit stop. Everybody else behind them. Lap number 22 with a couple exceptions, but Barber sitting with about 14, 15 lap older tires than the group in front of him, and there's just only so much you can hold off here. Barber this time ran a 32.6 as he crossed the stripe. Our leader ran a 32.2, so 0.4 faster, even as we see these laps continue to click off here. So just about 30 laps since pit stops for some of these drivers. And Barber really feeling the age on those good years. Joey Gentina, though, he's not feeling the age. He's enjoyed it. He came down pit road on that lap 36 stop. Has those newer Goodyears on board, and he still has a set in the pits. So the 14 truck showing a lot of speed and potential here tonight in Nashville. Out to a 1.8 second lead over Joe Hudson. What a run for Doug Roth, the driver of that 43, that Richard Petty paint scheme there, as he works out a 4. He's turned some sour pit strategy into something pretty good here. He is sitting in 4th right now, up 25 spots on his starting position. Roth looking to have a decent night coming out of Nashville. I'll go back here and take a look. It looks like a Reba Caton. That was Reba Caton. He took a ride through the grass, locked it down there on the service road. Was able to prevent the caution from coming out. As we starting to see pit stops underway. Hudson's down pit road. Rob Lowell's going to join him. Barber in the box. And it looks like Robert Barber, he's got some fresh, he's got fresh 4-1s. fresh Goodyears. It's a hard night, guys. It's been a long week. Barber's got 4 fresh new tires. He's going to merge back out on track. We'll have to follow that story closely. Meanwhile, we should see our leader in the group that came down on lap number 36. We'll have to see them, I suspect, down pit road before lap 80. So that stop not long from happening here. But this is where the lead that Joey Gentina was able to capitalize on is going to make the difference. Because right now, once they cycle through, Robert Barber still, depending on how many more laps Gentina stays out there, he is every bit going to be about 4.5 seconds on back, even through the green flag cycle. Those newer tires are going to be great. He can run that down, but just remember, once Gentina comes down pit road, he starts with a fresh set of tires, whereas some of those drivers that came down here are going to be on those older sets, so it's all about balance. And how many laps do you need to run yourself back up front? Right now, Gentina continues to lead. A 3+ second gap out front. Doug Roth, Lane Phillips, Shannon Wood, Troy Hatcher top 5. Then Stoney Benfield having a good night. Benfield up 22 spots, sitting in 6th right now. Gerald Livingston, not in a bad spot either. He's up 26 spots as well, sitting 7th. Vincent Short, Richard Swavely, and Kevin Stone round out your top 10 here as we are working lap number 71 at Nashville of 100. And Joey Gentina decides that lap number 71 is when I'm coming down pit road. The boss man on our current leader hits pit road for the final stop of the night. Swavely's also going to join him. Kevin Stone's there with him. Glenn Campbell's down pit road. Johnny Barker, Mark Schrader, Rick Kennedy Jr. down pit road. Cody DeForge is there as well. Green flag pit stops cycling through. Doug Roth is going to come down. I tell you what, if Roth did not get caught speeding there, that was an incredible drive down the quarter to get that truck as much speed as he possibly could down pit road. Lane Phillips, Shannon Woods on pit road. John Fowler is also going to join him. Our pole sitter, Troy Haight, he's back out front. He was last down pit road, lap number 37. He's going to come down too. Oh! Nearly. Benfield may have made contact there. Haight's on pit road, so is Dustin Coggin. Doug Roth wrapping up his service. So, Benfield's going to take the lead here. Gerald Livingston, Vincent Short, Jeff K. Ron Holyfield, your top 5. Doug Sigmund, the 87 of Robert Chappell right now sitting 7th. Chappell came back down pit road, or he came down pit road last lap 36, so he's going to have to stop as well. So, we'll see how this is all going to shake out, but right now, Joe Hudson is the first truck a lap down. He is the first truck that came down pit road there in that cycle. Barber, Montesi, and then Jatina, your top 4. As Hudson's going to have to make quick work of this traffic here if he wants to be able to hold off the 83, who is on his way forward in a hurry here. Meanwhile, Jatina's looking underneath Mike Montesi. Again, these are 4 spots, but a lap down set of trucks is 3 on the cautions out. And it looks like it involves Lane Phillips. This could make some things interesting. Let's go back here, find out what happened to Lane Phillips. Down to the inside he goes. Oh, either he got on the, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Let's take one more look. Phillips down on the inside. The 7's on the outside. Oh, the 7 just didn't even see that coming. And then another truck making hard contact in the door. And that is going to bring the 3rd caution of the night out here at Nashville. And this may have played into the favor of Stoney Benfield, Gerald Livingston, Vincent Short, Jeff K., Ron Holyfield, Doug Sigmund, and Robert Chappell. I need the 87 fans to turn up in chat right now. Your boy called this a stayed out just long enough. He's going to be able to come down pit road, get forward fuel, and he's going to be able to restart back up here in a really decent spot. As we are under caution here once again at Nashville. We're going to step aside. We'll reset it, and we'll come back green flag racing with about 20 to go. You're watching Turn 1. Good old iRacing having some issues with scoring here tonight. The whole field trying to get situated here. I would expect them to wave this off, but they're not going to. Vincent Short right now has scored the leader. I'm not sure how this is all going to shake out. Either way, green flag back out here. Gerald Livingston, Robert Chappell, Joe Hudson, Jeff Kay. All in the top 5. Short out front by a large margin. I think he was on his way around. There it is. They're going to recycle it here. Get everybody squared back up. That's going to bring the caution out here once again, just to ensure that they've got the scoring order intact. Also appears there may have been a little off track by Mike Montesi. Oh, nope. Okay, maybe that wasn't scoring because we got trucks backwards and all over the place down the backstretch. That's the 14, the 4, the 43, and a couple others. What a weird experience for these guys to bring out the caution here once again. Still show Vincent Short the leader from a scoring perspective. Waiting for all this to cycle out. I think these guys in front of him here are going to get a wave around. We'll see how that all plays out. And again, I want to make sure I mention next week here on Turn 1, we continue the Thursday night truck racing with the limited, or the NC811 limited series here on turn number 1, or turn 1 rather. I'm so out of it with how the scoring shaking out. Either way, next week we head to Michigan International Speedway. You thought Nashville was wild? Michigan's going to be a great show. And then 2 weeks time we head to Dover at the Monster Mile. Then it's Chicago before the off week. That'll be the halfway break here for the NC811 Truck Series on Turn 1. You're not going to want to miss a single lap of it. Get followed, subscribe. Thumbs up the stream if you haven't. I'd really appreciate it. There's a couple people over on the YouTube. All the 87 fans are out in force. Going to need those guys to give us those thumbs up over there. Like the stream if you haven't. And again, thanks for watching Turn 1. I think they got the scoring figured out now. Vincent Short's behind the pace car. That's where you belong there, Mr. Short. Then you got Gerald Livingston, Robert Chappell sitting 3rd, Joe Hudson, Jeff Kay, Ron Holyfield, Robert Barber is 7th, Stoney Benfield, Swavely, and Rob Lowell, your top 10. This is going to be a very interesting dynamic up front, and not a lot of laps to sort it out. They're going to go back green flag racing with about 17 to go. And Vincent Short, he's up 19 spots on the field here so far tonight from his qualifying effort. More impressive than that is the 31 of Gerald Livingston. He's going to start the outside of row number 1. And then Chappell and Hudson, row 2. Hudson's been up here off and on most of the night tonight. This all's worked out to his favor. Jeff Kay, he's in a really good spot. Ron Holyfield's liking what he's seeing. He's in 6th place. Meanwhile, drivers like Haight, Lowell, and others all floating back here around 12th, 13th, 14th. Joey Jatina's 16th. See how this all shakes out here with a little sprint to the end to wrap it up here in Nashville for the NC811 Limited Series. Pace car heads down pit road. Short, Livingston, hold the front row. There it is. The green flag's back out. Back racing. Clean start, single file, the top 4. Jeff Kay right here in front with Ron Holyfield. Then it's Barber. Swavely to the inside. Swavely has been alongside this 83 half the night tonight, it feels like. Nowhere to go for Barber. That's going to check him up a little bit. He's going to dive to the outside. Not going to be able to make a move. Swavely's going to be on the inside here. They're going to try and split Holyfield here. Not going to get it done, though. Swavely just minding his business, taking his time. Meanwhile, we go back up front. Robert Chappell settled into that third place position. Hudson in the fourth place position. Jeff K is fifth. Vincent Short is leading laps for the first time here tonight in Nashville. They're making it 3 wide here once again. That's Rick Kennedy Jr., Stoney Benfield in the middle. That's the 14 of Gentina. He really hated to see that caution play out. He got caught pretty far back here, racing his way back through the field. It's going to be a tough, long road for the 14 and not a whole lot of laps to get down it. We also seen him involved in that little extracurricular activity with the 43 and the 4 on the backstretch. Oh, Gentina! Oh, he gets loose. He's going to move down to the apron. I don't think that 14 truck is healthy as it may look. Go back up here. That's Swavely. Continuing to run down Robert Barber, but look in the mirror. He's got Troy Haight coming across the stripe here. Right in line with him. This could turn out to be a really good result, but they've got to hang on for 11 and a half more laps for Short, Livingston, and Chappell. Joe Hudson. He's pretty much going to be the first line of defense for this top 3. And really the only driver I think that would be a potential risk here is going to be Barber, potentially Swavely. Haight could get up there, but they are running out of laps to get it done. This time by Vincent Short is going to see the 10 to go from the flagman here at Nashville. Taking a look a little further back, Swavely. A little interesting back behind. That's Lowell and Haight sitting there. Side by side. Again, that's for that 10th place spot. What a storybook night this could be. For Vincent Short. If this plays out to his favor here, he got the lead after really just being in the right place at the right time with the pit stop sequence. He's got no pressure out back. And this could be the night that Short pulls off a win. This would be a pretty significant points night, and one I'm sure the 05 would not forget here. He's going to come across the stripe, and he's only got 7 laps to make it happen, or 7 more laps to hold off and hang on to bring home the checkered flag. Looking a little bit further back here, Barber has actually slid back to 8th. He has been fast all night. It looks like that truck is mishandling there. Richard Swavely sitting at 7th. This just shows you we've got a top 5 that we don't normally talk about. Short, Livingston, Chappell, Hudson K, as we are winding down here at Nashville. We're going to come across the stripe, 6 to go. It has been an interesting season. 6 races, 6 different winners. and an immense amount of talent in this NC811 Limited Series. And we are just 5 short laps away from crowning a 7th winner. Looking a little further back, the field's mostly spread out. You're not missing too much of anything out back. It looks like the 14, that truck is not running very well. Jatina's actually at the risk of going a lap down. He'll join several other drivers in that same position. Short exits out of turn 4. 4 to go. Everybody, like I said, pretty much the top 10 single filed out except this battle right here. That's Hayton Barber for that 9th place position. 2 really fast drivers. Different pit strategies set everybody back here tonight. The 83, I think, is going to leave here wondering what might have been. Meanwhile, Troy Haight also doing the same thing. Remember, he brought home the pole here tonight. Trying to hang on to a top 5 or top 10 finish. Meanwhile, Short out front. 3 to go. No pressure out back. About a full second off of Gerald Livingston. Ron Holyfield, Richard Swavely, they're getting a little close. They're coming out of 4. Gonna get it sorted out. Another, as I mentioned, another success story in Jeff Kay here. He's sitting 5th, looking to bring home a solid finish of the night. It has been an up and down evening. A couple cautions in the books. Some exciting racing all up and down the racetrack. But Vincent Short sees the white flag one more time around here in Nashville. Gerald Livingston comfortably in P2 and the 87 truck. He said in chat at some point he had a ton of repairs. Was half a lap away from a top 3. I hope to see the YouTube chat go nuts for Robert Chappell. Overcoming some adversity, letting the strategy play out. And now, getting the checker flag, Vincent Short wins at Nashville. Livingston, Chappell, Hudson, Swavely, your top 5. Ron Holyfield, Jeff Kay, Cogan rather, Barber, Haight, your top 10. Then it's Kevin Stone, Shannon Wood, Johnny Barber, Mike Montesi, John Fowler, the top 15. A wild night wrapping up here at Nashville, but the coverage doesn't stop. Stay right there. We'll be right back with you with some post-race interviews right after this. You're watching Turn 1. Vincent Short's gonna burn it down on the front stretch. Meanwhile, Robert Chappell's ready to go. Robert, congratulations on top 3 here. All your fans over on the YouTube chat cheering you on. That's gotta feel good to be able to walk away here with a solid finish.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it. I had some damage there. That caution came out at the right time for me. I was still out on the track in 7th place. And then we had that restart, had fresh tires. Ran up front the rest of the race, so.
Robert, I can't imagine what was going through your head when that caution came out, especially, you see the 83 back there a ways, probably your relative. You also seen Swavely back there and a couple other really fast drivers here tonight. When you saw that caution came out, and what was going through your mind is that restart loomed and knowing you needed to have some really solid laps of execution to be successful here?
I just that caution came out. And I was like, thank goodness I still had that 30 seconds worth of damage to fix, and I went in. My goal was just to save the tires, just in case another caution came out from everyone being so aggressive, and I was just going to see what happened. I was just really cruising.
Well, it turned out to be a solid night here tonight, Robert. One final question for you. Obviously, this is a big weight off your shoulders out of a top three here, but I know you're looking for a checkered flag. We got a lot of interesting racetracks coming up here, Michigan and Dover, places like that. Is there any place on the calendar you've got circled up knowing that you plan to bring everything you got to bring home a checkered flag before the season ends?
I'd have to take a look at the rest of the schedule, but I'm fairly decent at Michigan. I feel like it's a pretty wide open track, lots of room to pass. That's going to be the next one I'm after there.
Well,
Moving
you heard it
on,
here first.
P3 here. Maybe we'll take the checkered on the next one.
That's right. You heard it here first. Robert Chappell says he's going to be on the hunt at Michigan next week here on Turn 1. Robert, thanks for the time. I know you got some fans you may want to thank. They've been cheering you on all night. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
Hey, I appreciate all the fans in the chat. Appreciate you guys coming in here every week to check out number 87 Four Seasons Auto Wash Truck. Appreciate my wife coming in there. A few other friends. Looks like Ryan, Jordan, Sailors. Appreciate you guys.
Able to watch Robert Chappell bring home a top three here at Nashville. Congratulations, Robert. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks.
With that, again, we will get to our race winner here, Vincent Short, as well as Gerald Livingston at some point. But again, I want to remind everybody, next week, Michigan, 8:30, 7:30 Central, right here on Turn 1. We go limited racing once again. 7 different winners and 7 races with this group. And I tell you what, they have put on an incredible show up and down the schedule here over the last many weeks. It's been a fun watch. We will go to race winner with Vincent Short. Vincent, listen, sometimes you got to be a little lucky with how things fall out and capitalize. And it looks like that 05 truck was really on a roll once you got out in that clean air.
Yeah, that was a hot mess there at the end. I knew that I was going to be back in the field when we had that second to last yellow. So, I knew I had fresher tires. I had about 5 laps on everybody. So when we came out of the pits, it kept telling me I can't remember if it was pass or stay behind the pace car. It was opposite of everybody else. So I kept slowing up, and then it got everything confused. And then when it reset, it wanted me to the front. And I told Joey, I was like, I'm not in the front. I should be in the back. We had like 4 or 5 of us that still pitted at the end there, so we should be towards the back of the field. But it shuffled me up to the front, and of course, clean air is king once you get up there.
Yeah, Vincent, obviously able to capitalize there on the track position and bring it home here. What was your thoughts coming to that last restart, knowing you needed to really focus here to be able to walk away with this checker flag, knowing you got the likes of the 83, the 4. Joey obviously was tangled up there with a little bit of incident on the backstretch. He was fast tonight. Were you worried about anybody in the rear view as you knew you were going to have about 20 laps to hold everybody off there?
Well, early on, I was just focused on hitting my marks and saving fuel and trying to put myself in the best position possible to keep myself moving up, which it was happening there towards the middle part of the race and 3/4 through. But once I got reset up front, I knew if I hit my marks, I didn't think I'd have any problems. I'm usually pretty strong at this track, so I wasn't real concerned. It was just a matter of me hitting my marks and not trying to get too anxious, try to throttle up too soon, because this track, as anybody knows, you got to roll the corners as long as humanly possible and get a good exit, which I did on that last run. It's probably the best run I had all night.
Yeah, that's like I said, that truck looked really solid out front and able to hold everybody off there to bring home the checkered flag here in Nashville. Let's look ahead to next week at Michigan and a couple other tracks on the calendar. I'll ask you the same thing I asked the 87. What are you looking forward to? Is there a track in the near term here that you're excited about that maybe it falls right in your specialty that you could bring home win number 2 of the season?
I'm more of an opportunistic guy. I usually try to lay back and just be focused on hitting my marks, and I've learned over time. I've raced with former NASCAR guys, so the big thing there is just being patient. Take what the track gives you. Try not to over race the car, and the whole rule slower is faster has always worked for me. So I try to stick to that as much as possible because I know there are some guys on here I can't outdrive, so I'm not going to try to outdrive them. I got to strategize and be smart about it and not be greedy.
Well, hey, it worked out for you here tonight, able to bring home the checkered flag. Winner number 7 of the season here in Nashville. Vince, we appreciate the time and congratulations.
Thanks to Turn 1 Broadcasting, Sim 500, 811 org for our sponsorship, and my teammates with Stone, me, and Ron and Kevin. They all ran a pretty strong race. Thanks for the broadcast, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Vince Short, your winner here tonight at Nashville. A wild night in the books here. We saw a lot of 3 wide racing, 2 and 3 rows deep, even at some points here at Nashville. So it was an exciting one with this limited group. And again, I'll say one more time, you want to come racing with this group, head on over to sim500.com for more information and get signed up. They're running 2, 3, 4 nights a week here right now, and they'd love to have you. Going to give Gerald Livingston another opportunity to hop up here and have a conversation, bringing home a second place finish. Gerald Livingston, an incredible night for that driver, sitting 31 spots up. And, we heard Vince talk about how opportunistic he has to be. And, well, everybody took advantage there. That caution really falling in a weird spot in the pit cycle certainly shook some things up here tonight at Nashville. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and call it quits for tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Turn 1. It's been a great night of racing action. We'll see you next Thursday night for continued action right here, 8:30, 7:30 Central, where the NC811 Limited Series takes on Michigan. On behalf of the league admins, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next Thursday night for more racing action. Good night, everybody.